Wow, Bitcoin, put some pants on. You've lost your mind. Bitcoin price is not moving anywhere, friends. Of course, we are going to update you today with some friendship and kindness. We are still waiting to break outside of the range. I'm going to show you the weekly chart. We are still, once again, tapped in this little candle. Hello, everybody. Everybody losing their minds. Of course, we can also look at the 3-day chart. Doesn't really change much at all. We're still hovering around this. This is my golden ropes, friends, a 21 EMA. Nothing is fascinatingly happening here at all, but there are some juicy lessons to learn because everyone's eventually going to realize Bitcoin's parabolic gains have seen the best of its life already. It's already happened. We had the 600x, we had the 100x, and then we had the 20x. And if you know what I'm talking about, you have my very commonly shown chart. Yes, 600x, 100x. Remember, the community is the asset. And then 5x. That's maybe what's coming, friends. We've got to be prepared. So, of course, the answer is, okay, we've got to buy altcoins. Yes, that's always the answer, isn't it? You always want to go for the highest upside given a boost in the crypto industry. But there are risks, of course. There's so many coins out there now. Back in the day, there weren't that many coins. What's funny is that there were way more scam projects that were not going to make it, but the returns were much higher because people didn't know how to price anything. They were coming in with euphoria. They were just hitting market. No one knew what a bid was or an offer was, and they were coming in. So just a friendly reminder, I have bought and researched over 500 crypto coins. And it's funny, whenever me and you hear an influencer say this, they next say, and for only $499, you can find out too. Well, tell them to suck it. We don't like them. We don't want their ICO pump and dumps. We tell them we don't want their leverage trading. They call it hedging. They call it rebalancing. They say crypto's a casino. I don't care if crypto's a casino. I'm not going to put you into the most dangerous game of all, which is leverage trading, because 2% of us actually pay attention. Like, I know how to manage risk, but I know 98% of you absolutely don't know what that is at all. You will succumb to all your trading and gambling degeneracy ways. So look at this. If I had one summary from all the altcoins, because we know, okay, we got to do spot altcoins. We know no leverage. What summary? Of course, it is don't try to pick the coins. Try to pick communities. I am not a coin picker. I'm trying to find religions, cults, scams, Ponzi, labels, outcasts, misfits. This may remind you of some stuff. Of course, I have the logos here. You might look at it, you're like, excuse me, there are some logos in here which are that and which aren't that. Okay? Uniswap, there is no community. There is no cult. I have tagged Uni and said, you are one of the most disappointing things I've ever seen in my life. No one cares. No one comes out to defend them because everybody knows. Aave, same thing. But at least they're trying with their stablecoin, all right? Link Marines, all right? We all have a mental illness, of course. And it's very easy to see. Hex, PulseX, PulseChain, 100% mental illness, Ponzi cult religion. Poor pleb, also cute, very funny meme. Do you see this difference? This is the difference. You know, once upon a time, friends, you see this Bitcoin logo? Bitcoin used to represent mental illness. When did it used to represent mental illness? When it was giving you a 600x from the bottom to the top and then a 100x from the bottom of the top. When it started giving you this poopy little 20x, which was our one, there was no more cult. It looked like a cult because you had extravagant people like Elon Musk and Michael Saylor talking about it, but it wasn't really a cult anymore. Now we're just hitting too much mainstream. Mums and dads, all the stock market people were now in it. The biggest finance gurus on YouTube. You ain't a cult anymore when you've got millions of people saying, yes, Bitcoin is great. Not a cult anymore. And of course, because it's not a cult, you're not going to get the cult-like parabolic gains we're looking for. And if we go through some of the comments, you are all starting to get it. Here is Mr. CK. Shout out to Mr. CK. The lesson I've learned is those coins who are perceived to have the least chance at a successful pump, they actually pump the hardest. From expectation becomes only failure, sadly. And of course, you know why now, friends. You know why. It's because, all right, when Bitcoin was here, when Bitcoin is at the highest returns, it was hated. It was a scam. Then people started to become less hate. Now we've entered the period of neutral. People are now neutral to Bitcoin. And now they're starting to like it. And you think, wait, isn't that great? Yes. But the biggest returns you got was not buying when everybody was neutral on Bitcoin. It was buying when everyone hated it. Ponzi scam. I made many videos showing you this. And we even have Kind Baby Doll Bandit showing you the highest of stakes, the Hex movie documentary. Will we get ridiculed for it? Yes, I hope so. Give something to everyone so they can laugh to us. Let them point the finger, let them laugh, let them tag. Because eventually, when they start seeing the green candles, they'll be like, oh, now I see why this is a cult religion. I want to join in. Yes, they'll actually say that. Just like with Bitcoin. When the candles started coming and they were green, people lost their minds and they started thinking about everything differently. I've also got a baby doll here asking, right, bro, you should get on the Gala train. So Gala is a game coin. I haven't really looked too much into it, but its size is so big. I still want more time to flesh out the gaming industry and for people to really show me that the gaming coins that exist right now are going to be the ones that go up. Of course, Mr. Xenomorph is saying, still, you seem blind on Zen. Absolutely not blind on Zen whatsoever. There are just so many coins. There's a lot of controversy. And it feels like XRP and Hex are the same. And then Stellar, which is a subset of XRP, that seems to be what Zen is. So effectively, when Hex pumps and Pulse Chain pumps, we might see more life given to Zen. So it really is a subset. So I guess we'll see how that plays out. So friends, here's a tongue-in-cheek message just to show you. Look at this. There are too many coins, but there's not enough money to go around. That's just the truth. There's just too many coins. There's an oversupply of coins. Wall Street did this in the late 1990s with the internet bubble. When the stock market kept going up, they just kept making internet companies and then funds and stuff to do whatever the hell they wanted to do just to like satisfy the demand of all the retailers who wanted to buy anything to do with the internet. Here I am to tell you, there will be a disappointing return for most people's expectations in the next cycle. This is a almost 100% guarantee. In fact, I will say it's a 300% guarantee. How do I know this? If we go back to every single cycle, I've told you time and time again, you go back and you stand at the top of the bull and then you look back and you go, uh-oh, everyone who was expecting the previous cycle to repeat has been disappointed. Every single time. That is the lesson from every single cycle. Every single cycle, they look back and they said, how much return did you do, right? You know, these early returns, so you might say, whoa, this 600x is pretty big. No. The 600x was a disappointment up here because the first one was a 20,000x for Bitcoin. And then you had a 100x here, but they're looking at the 600x from the cycle before. And then we had a 20x. We were looking at the 100x from before. We thought Bitcoin could hit 200,000 to 300,000 just because it should be worth half of gold's market cap. Complete disappointment. So of course, what do we not want to say? We don't want to say that this won't happen again, but what if it happens again? Divided by 5, maybe it's that simple, which lands us around, unfortunately, friends, the $75,000 to $80,000 zone. It is not 100,000. Do you want to take that chance? That's all I'm saying. I'm saying, like, maybe you really got to pay attention to what I'm saying because the Bitcoin community is already enormous. It's 100 million people. They can't possibly add 700 million people in the next cycle in 2 years. They can't. They're trying, but they won't. So we have to find communities that are hated because the hated communities don't have 1 million people in them yet. They don't have 10 million people. They're only in the thousands. 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000. They are not in the millions yet. That's the whole game. So the game is getting harder. There's an oversupply of fast-growing poop. We saw this 2.0 meme coin narrative coming out of nowhere. Look at this. BTC 2.0, ETH 2.0, Litecoin 2.0. So obviously do not buy these whatsoever. These are just scammers and grifters. All they do is affinity marketing. They see something going up and they're like, okay, let's take the name and let's use it for our thing going up. So people want to participate. Litecoin went up just because it was like the silver to Bitcoin being gold. But now it's a poopy McPoop. And you know what's interesting, friends? This is very interesting. So Vitalik keeps dumping his Ethereum on our heads. Vitalik calls up the foundation and he says, dump it all. But everybody gives him a pass. So this is a very common question I get. People say, hey, my friend Somi, why does Ethereum get destroyed by the ETH dumping and everybody still gives it a pass? And I'll tell you the answer. The answer is because the price is still going up and ETH BTC is still going up. The ratio of Ethereum to Bitcoin is still strong. So that's why you always want to look at, I promise you this, the fact that ETH BTC is still going up. Okay, yeah, it's going down momentarily, but the fact that it's still been able to gain ground, put on a log chart, now it looks cleaner. When you look at it like this, that's why everyone says, okay, you know what? You're allowed to dump that much. Look how much value you added. So why do they actually say that? Why is it okay? It's because you have gained so much value on Bitcoin, which is the industry standard, you are allowed to exit however you want. That's why everybody gives him a pass. And of course they should, because not many other coins can do this, not even close. The Ethereum ICO was all the way down here. Like the value added here is insane. No one lost, no one. Everybody's been made whole. But of course, everybody knows about Ethereum now. It is no longer the contrarian play. Ethereum is the mainstream blue chip play. And look at this, a big whale account received 22,000 ETH from Vitalik at one point. So he just deposited another 2,000 ETH to the OKX exchange. Yes, yada yada, people come in. You know, these are just washed with time, friends. And look, it doesn't really matter because I post these just to show you. No one cares. There's no real sense of urgency to panic because he's added so much value. Vitalik, with his giant brain as an alien, has added so much value to crypto. It is gargantuan in size. No one else can really compare. Now, everybody's trying to, and we hope we see the next blue chip of the industry get created, but so far, it is what it is. If there was anyone to have a chance, it would be Uni, because of the buy and burn potential if they activated the protocol fee switch, and maybe ChainLink, because the Link ETH chart is also, I'll show you right now, it is also uptrended since the ICO. So the ICO is here, so like, whoa, uptrended. Now, why still Linky Boo, even though ChainLink has the founder dumping on us to fund the inflation reward so it can keep the Oracle, keep getting adoption and fund the services for everybody. Why is it called the poopy? Well, it's just because of how long it's taken since the top. So it's been dumping since August 2020. That's why it's been dumping down to the gulag. So this is over 1,000 days. That's why. If it had peaked here, if Chainlink had just peaked with everything else in like May, so instead of this, if we actually went up in April and then we did this chart, then it would be much different. But the fact that we've been dumping for 3 years, everybody remembers that. You know, in crypto, the difference between 1 year is huge in crypto. That's why it's more apparent. And our concluding message, friends, will be referring to macro and the bullish undertone of crypto. So even if you aren't able to identify a religious cult Ponzi or a hated coin to try to find asymmetric upside, you will still be able to gain USD because gain your portfolio value in nominal terms, because this is the truth. How governments pay off debt. Okay, this thing, there's only two options, friends. Option number one is a depression. Okay, it's called a deflationary bust. Poor people will actually become rich. $20,000 buys a house. So yes, that's what a deflationary bust would be. It would be like if you have $10,000 to your name and then you go to zero, well, who cares? We get to reset. But when you have $8 million to your name and then you go down to 400,000, like it's game over at that point. This is not people in crypto portfolio. I mean people with like stocks and houses, or people have to do a full reset. They just go bust from 10 or $100 million down to like zero because of a deflationary bust. Do you see that? So now everybody has to work on a reset level. That would be option one. Trust me, governments ain't ever going to take that option. We have so much evidence. That's why they keep printing money. This option is not an option. So the second option is this: inflationary bust. Wealthy power remains. Remember this. The middle class will get robbed. This is just through inflation, right? So they keep minting. They have an infinite mint function, just like in crypto. So they mint the money. They give cheaper loans out to their friends, and they get cheaper loans out themselves. Me and you can't get it. So we always pay a big fat giant premium on top of the loans, and these guys always have an edge. They get to buy the assets before us because they're paying off less repayments. That's just the game. And this is how they keep the power. They keep sucking the power. So they're always able to do this because their population keeps going up. There's always, I'm not joking, every year a new set of people turn 18 and they join the workforce, and then they provide a bid for the fiat. every year, right? So from your 17, when you hit 18, that's it. Maybe you start working, or 21 when you finish university or college. When you go to work, you are providing a bid. You are leaving a big fat bid for USD. You're like, yes, I'd like a bid for that. And what do you offer? You offer your labor. So you will go offer your labor, and when the labor's done, right, which is your 8 hours of working for the day, you'll collect their fiat, and that's it. You get to hold it. You're actually a bag holder. But they just keep printing more of that out, and they always got to take this option. That's why crypto's always going to have a bullish undertone. But the game is who's going to be super bullish and who's going to be like a little cow, not even a real bull. All right, we already know. That's why we're trying to figure out this game together. And if we finished it off with these comment section friends, Stevie Boo summarizes it up perfectly. He believes, though, it's option 1 first. He thinks the deflationary bust will happen, but no, it won't happen, Stevie. They can't, because that means the rich people become poor. That guy with $80 million in his name and estate, he's not going to let the stocks go down 95%. He's not going to vote the politicians to do that. He's not going to become a poor person. No chance in hell. So he believes you steal the pleb's asset during a price crash. So this is the thing. The prices crash, but then they print money to restore them. They never let a deflationary bust happen. Deflationary bust will be Great Depression. It would be minus 90% down in the stock market, and then it does not go up for 10 years. That is actually what you need to reset everything. We're not going to get that. And then he believes, obviously, option 2 would come in to create a new bubble and inflate the money supply. I think the banks call it a business cycle. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, so the business cycle does happen. But, of course, baby dolls, we know the business cycle, right? So we're going to do this cute little chart. Usually, we're meant to get a capitulation and then a depression for 3 years. We're meant to get that. But we don't get that anymore. We get the bull cycle, and then the stocks, as soon as it goes down, they go, uh-oh, time to print and stimulate. Whoop. That's why the stock market V-bottoms every time. We do not get this 2 to 3 period of rinsing everybody out. And because we've delayed it so long, it's not a 2 to 3 period anymore. It's literally, it would have to be 10 years because of how much debt there is in the system. So they're just going to keep printing until we get CBDCs. Then they reset the currency. They say, hey, your old $4 gives you one new, beautiful, clean dollar. And they're just going to play the game over and over. And hopefully we make it to the end, friends. And I know we're going to make it to the end because we're always going to be friends. We're still watching the Bitcoin Ethereum price right here, hoping that we exit out of this zone and get some Bitcoin halvening front run of sorts. But even if it doesn't, you know what the game is. Buy and hold. We'll see how 2024 plays out when it arrives. Like, subscribe, press the bell button and all. I'm going to catch you in the next one.